social media information, like my videos, and subscribe to my channel. If this content is engaging for you, it helps me out when you do that today. We're doing video 2 of figuring out what we can do with diminished 7th arpeggios, I guess. They're very useful for those of you who follow my channel, who like the skronk, the Mark Ribot stuff. This is, okay, let's do it. All right, say we were playing, that we're just gonna deal with one chord change today. Here's the rule. Say you were playing over D minor. Yeah, I'm going way up high with this D minor. And A7. That's a 1 to a 5. Here, I'll just play it more obvious. Very Tom Waits kind of chord change. That's a minor 1 to a 5. So here's the thing that I observed, I don't know when, there's a substitution that can happen, which, okay. Say, let's spell an A7 chord. Where will I put this? I'll put it over there. A, C sharp, E, G. Now in a minor key, you do have the option on that 5 chord to make it an A7 flat 9. A, C sharp, E, G, B flat, right? And that's kind of a weird way to do it. I guess I could do it. And you notice now we intersect that thing that, oh, isn't that also a diminished 7th chord? Yeah, it is. So let's spell it out. That means A7 flat 9 is really the same as B flat diminished 7. That's really interesting. So that means, here's the rule. In a minor key, over a 5 chord, you can put a diminished 7th chord on any note, really, of that chord other than the root. So I can build a diminished 7 off of the B flat. I could build it off of the C sharp. I could build it off of the E. I could build it off of the G, because of that thing where a diminished 7th chord is just, you know, the same thing over and over again. So in improv, that leads to some interesting things. So, you know, if we're playing over a 1 to a 5, and again, I'll just go to like a standard. And then I'm like, okay, the chord is A7 right here. That means I could build a diminished 7 off of here. I'm going to show these again in a second. You know, 11, 9, 8. Great shape. Here, I think I have a loop going. Because that's another way to do the same thing. So let's take a detour. Ready? This is a real Eric secret. I discovered at some point that there's this very shreddy way you can play these. Let's go again. By the way, I'm just going to throw all this stuff on a chart here on my Patreon with the backing track for free. Head over there. Give me money if you want to. Don't if you can't afford it. I don't care. Check this though. This is a invertible, repeatable shape. 2, 5, 3, 2, 5. Move it up 3 frets. Move it up 3 frets. Move it up 3 frets. Let's let that A drone. See what I did there, and then I landed with a blues lick. Watch that again. Oh. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So that's a very repeatable shape. Detour. I actually, though, watch out. Watch out. This whole lesson is a very interesting concept. However, it goes right up to the edge. This is actually probably the most complicated thing I'll ever talk about. Because generally, as a philosophical rule, I don't like to play in a way that's like, oh, on this chord I could do this triad, on this chord I could do that. I don't like to have too much guitar calculus going on. This is a very interesting thing, but take it with a real grain of salt. My honest thing is like, this is interesting for sure. You can use it compositionally, like Chet Atkins will put these runs into a song, but like in terms of using it on the fly, if it's hard for me to do on the fly, I'm gonna go ahead and assume it's going to be even harder for you to do on the fly. So really, I wouldn't waste too much time other than like being like, that's interesting, I'm going to store this away, but I don't know if you're really going to be able to implement it easily, because I can't. I'll show you what I do with it in a second, though. If that is, by the way, the shape on the D string, there's a similar easily invertible shape on the G string. And because these start on any note of them, there we are, we're going to start on the B flat. That's another easily invertible shape. It's similar but different because minor third, and there's the minor third. So what, 3, 6, 5, 3, 6. Repeats every 3 frets. Let's do that again. I'm like, you know, if I was here, I'm on this note, and what my brain is doing is going, help, 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 where's a D minor? There's one to resolve it. You know, that's that thing of being able to see the next chord coming at you before it's there. So, but in real life, you know, you're never going to see me do that because I'm not a shredder. Nor am I going to take the time to become a shredder because it just has never been proven to be necessary for the kind of music I like. But what I would do is what you saw me do in the opening, where I am playing mostly blues licks on the D minor. And then I'm thinking about, okay, where is that diminished 7th shape for that substitution for that A? So like it can be built off of, you know, not the D. Well, it could get built off of that C sharp. It could get built off of that E, that B flat, and there's that C sharp again. Here, let's pull that loop up. There he is. D minor. The next one. Let's do that one again. That's a really useful one, that little triangle. Watch, okay, so. It's fun to play like this. So if that's an E, I could build one off of that. Here, let's play around with that. Landed on D minor. I could do this all day. Does that make sense? That's the question. Does it make sense? Hold on. Getting no light on me. We back? Yeah, I had to wait a half hour for the light to move behind me here. So fun. Let's review though. So really, the main way that this is useful is, one, you got to be in a minor key. Really not, again, maybe you can find a way, the 5 in major. I'm not going to even play around with it. I don't even think that sounds cool. You do it in a minor key over the 5 chord because that A, at A7, if we put a flat 9 on it, is enharmonic, is the music theory word for a B flat diminished 7th, a C sharp diminished 7th, an E diminished 7th, or a G diminished 7th. Very cool for that specific effect, but again, watch out. If you only halfway understand it, don't try and implement it in band practice. Really know it before you try and use it. Because like I said, this is one of those things that goes right up to my line of complicatedness, because as you know, I don't like to do chord calculus or changes calculus. I'm like, yo, minor chords get minor pentatonic, major chords get major pentatonic, or heck man, you could just play the scale that the key of the song is in. You're always allowed to do that, by the way. You don't have to play the changes. You don't have to play the changes. You don't have to play the changes. We get really into it because it's like a bar that we set for ourselves, but sometimes you don't. Melody is the most important thing. Does it sound nice? Does it sound nice is the most important thing. So yeah, be wary of this lesson. Like, isn't this cool? Don't do it. That's a weird video to make. It's very cool though. It's very cool. Just when the stars align and it's the exact right thing to do. Oh, where is it? I lost it. Anyway, there's going to be one more video in this series about what we can do with a diminished 7th. We talked about just how to play it in a chord progression. The last way, I'll just precursor, is, say I was grooving on G minor. You can, and I'll do a whole video about this, you can just superimpose it right on the G minor. That's even more skronky, even more angular. So yeah, this makes sense that I'm like into this, because hi, you know this about me. I like stuff that sounds wrong but isn't actually wrong, isn't just completely random notes. It's like, no, there's actually a rule here. This is actually compositionally hideous, which is, I love that about diminished 7th and augmented, that they're ugly and strange and macabre. I think that's how you say that word. I think the British pronunciation is macabre. Yo, I look up words because people get on me about how I pronounce things. I gotta double check everything, every word I say. Anyway, thanks so much to everybody who supports me in all the ways that you do, even if it's just clicking like and subscribe, because that stuff helps with algorithm relevancy, which is when you're an influencer, I hate that word, but I depend on it. I depend on the clicks and the interactions and positive interactions because the AI is watching. Oh, it's a beautiful thing and it knows. Anyway, when people click and like and subscribe, that generates traffic, and then that generates website traffic, which means people are booking lessons with me, people are purchasing my PDF downloads, people are supporting me on Patreon. Heck, some people donate just generously. Thank you, because that's how I can continue to play my cool vintage instruments and film it and share it, and that's cool. I think I'll be here next week. I think I'll be able to shoot a video before I get on a plane and go down to Florida to shoot my course for Truefire, an Eric Haugen masterclass on basically all the structures, caged, pentatonics, double stops. To me, that's like the baseline foundation of how I navigate this fretboard life. As Bill and Ted would say, be excellent to each other. That includes yourself. Happy Friday. Eat pizza.